Alright, what is going on, guys? I'm excited to show you this video today. We're going to talk about how to get started selling on Amazon, step-by-step guide. When you're living in Australia, I'll do my version. Now, you can mostly be living all around the world with this. It works for most countries, but with my personal experience, I'll do it from selling from Australia. I'm going to run you through a step-by-step guide, what I did to get started and what you'll need to get started too. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So, first step is to make an Amazon account. Now, we're going to do this on the US marketplace since it is the best one to sell at the moment. Now, with the Australian marketplace, I know Australia has opened, Amazon has opened in Australia, but they're not getting Amazon Prime until Q1 of this year. So, best off right now is to start off selling on the US marketplace. So, what you want to do is you just want to come into Google here. I've got the web page up now, and you just go into Amazon. You make sure it's just .com, not .com.au, and you come in here into the accounts. It says sign in, new customer. If you haven't got an account yet, just press start here. You put your name, you put your email, you put your password, and that's it. It's all free to do. Once you've got an Amazon account there, then you can start looking at different products there. And it does work really well when it ties in with the Jungle Scout Chrome extension and the Jungle Scout product research database, which we'll get through in a second. So first thing, make an account on the US marketplace. This isn't the seller account. We'll get into that next. So next step is to make an Amazon seller account. Now we're going to do this obviously on the US marketplace again, and it's a different website to the normal Amazon. So all you do is, we'll go from the start. So just if you're right on Google, I know you can search from here, but we'll go to Google first. Go to Google. So we'll just say Amazon seller. Type that in. And so it's called Seller Central. So just make sure you go into the Amazon Seller Central. Now it'll come up here and it'll say to sign into your account. Obviously, if you don't have an account, you just go down here and you go register now. So this is what you need to actually get your products in, and this is where all your products that you get in are going to be listed on there. So just click on Start Selling, and it'll come in here, and obviously it's gonna have this here. If you've already got an account, you can sign into that. If not, create your Amazon account. Same thing there. Now you can use the same email as what you have on your normal Amazon account, because it's two separate things. Because the first one we made was just to buy products on. We're not going to be buying products from Amazon. We're going to be getting them shipped there. But it's good to have that Amazon account there. So for your Amazon seller account, this is what you need in order to get your products in, so it can be tied into your brand name and whatnot. So you make your account on there. Now, what you mostly need, I'll bring it up here. If you're an Australian, so you're going to need your driver's license from Australia, your credentials. So you're going to need, because it is a monthly fee selling on Amazon. So it's about $50 a month. That's converting it to AUD, so Australian dollars. So it's about $50 a month to sell on there. So you just need, obviously your ID, or your credentials. So you're going to need, you can pay it either by your credit card, or you can pay it either by your bank account. But you need your bank account there, so when Amazon pays you for selling your products, it goes straight into your bank account. You also need to put in your tax file number as well, because they do regulate tax through your seller account as well. You will need a bit more information, but it's just your basic stuff. So once you create your seller account, you can log into there, and that's what we're going to need, and we're going to come back to it later on. Also, quick shirt change. One thing I just forgot to mention as well is after you create your seller account, you have to make a brand name, and that'll be included in your setup with your Amazon seller account. So you have to aim to make your brand name. You try and make it in relation to your niche and what you're selling. Now, it's okay if you make a name and then you later on want to change it. You can change it, but you just have to make sure that you make it the brand name that you want before you start ordering your products, because it does get harder. Make it a bit more difficult down the line. But I just thought I'd mention that in. Make sure you have your brand name there, because it'll tie in with when you make your logo and when you get your products private labeled later on down the track when you order them. Once you make your Amazon seller account and Amazon accept all your credentials and whatnot, and they confirm your ID and whatnot. It'll probably take, well, I think it took me maybe just under a day. It could be less. It could be way less because I haven't done it in a while. But from what I remember, it took me less than a day to get approved. So then you can start bringing your products in here. As you can see on the screen there, that was my most recent payment, and that went straight into my bank account from there. But we'll come back to this because you will need this later on. But that's the most important things to make your Amazon seller account right now. So next thing we have here is to purchase Jungle Scout. Now, Jungle Scout is the most important part of your product research. And when it comes to Amazon and selling on Amazon, product research is the most important aspect of anything. If you don't have a good product, you're not going to sell. You could have the best advertisement in the world, you could have the best marketing skills in the world, but if your product is not good and there's no demand for it, you're not going to sell. So yeah, you just have to make sure that your product research is correct. And the way to do this is what a lot of other people do, including myself, is use Jungle Scout. So there's two different products to buy from Jungle Scout. One is a monthly subscription, and which is, it says here, I'll show you in a second, it's billed yearly, but there's a second one which is just a one-time fee. So we'll come into Jungle Scout here. Now, this here is the product database, and this is where all my product research is done for the most part. This is where you get started. This is where you start finding your niche for your brand, and this is where you get started finding your different products and what's selling well, depending on what parameters you've put in there. So as you can see here, this is going by the course that I've been doing. It was a couple of courses that I've already done, and I just look back on them, and these are the categories that I've done, which figured out of what's best for me. I've been finding a lot of good products through here, and these are the parameters I've done, but these are the ones that I've done, and this is how I've started finding my products just through the parameters that I've been using. So in order to get Jungle Scout, you're basically just going to Google Jungle Scout, and it's going to bring you to the first page, and it's going to, you just need to make a login, which is free. It's free to make an account. So once you sign up, you go up to the tab here, and they've got the different products. Now, the two that we need, the two that you're going to need, and the two that I use, is one is the Chrome extension, which if you look back here, that is the $197. That's the one-time fee. So we're going to purchase that, and what that is, I'll show you real quick. Okay, so we've just got it up here. Now you'll see it's this little icon, Jungle Scout, on the top right, and what that does is, I'll just show you real quick. So if we just type in product here, grill gloves. Now, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this product. It's way too competitive. But basically, what the Jungle Scout, what the Chrome extension does, is you will need Google Chrome. That's another thing I forgot to mention. You will need Google Chrome for this. As far as I know, it is the best working one for Jungle Scout. So once you type in what product you want, you go through to Jungle Scout, and it'll actually pull all the data of all its sales, what it's ranked, all the customer reviews and whatnot. And if you get the Pro version, which is the $197 one, it'll be a bit higher because it'll convert to Australian dollars. It is a one-time fee, and the opportunity score is very, very helpful. So it'll give you the average up the top here, but it'll actually give you the individual revenue of what's listed on this page. So for these grill gloves, so just say this one here. So their sales, they're selling over 1,100 a month. That's over 1,100 of these products a month. Now its rank is very, very low, which is very, very good, because the lower you are in the sales rank, the better. And they're making $23,000 a month on this one product. So that's the Jungle Scout, that's the Pro extension. Now I'm going to leave the link for this just in the description below. So just make sure you click on that link if you're interested in buying it. It definitely helped me with my product research, and it'll definitely help you too. So we'll go into the product database. Now this here, the product database, this is the one that's billed yearly. So if we just go back here, so it's $29 a month for the startup plan. There are higher plans to do, but the startup plan gives you enough. It gives you like, you can track like 400 different products a month or something like that. So yeah, again, the $29 is in US, so it's going to be a bit higher in Australian dollars, but it is definitely worth it. So when you really think about it, it's only a one-time fee. You can just pay it once for the year, and then you can just leave it, because you only do your product research until you find your product, and then when you do a second product, you can search it up again then. So it's definitely the investment that you put into these two products here is definitely well worth it for the outcome. So I'll leave the link for these two just under the video here, and you can click in through to those if you're interested in purchasing those. Now, the next thing that we've got here is to make an account on Alibaba. That's free to do. Now, what Alibaba is, I'll just show you here. Now, Alibaba is it's the website where you search and you source all your products. So once you go onto the Alibaba website, once you do your product research, you're going to want to buy it from a supplier, and this is where you go to do that. So when you come to the first page, it's going to get you to sign in, and if you don't have an account, you can just go down here, join for free. Now it's I haven't used any other supplier websites yet, but for me it's definitely the best one, and it's what most other people are using to source their products, because it's the best way to go about it, not only because you find the best suppliers, but it's just because there's very little risk involved, because you can pay through PayPal, and they've got trade assurance and things like that, which I'll show you in a second. But you just make an account there, you just link it to an email, and you put a password on there. But I'm going to sign into my account, and I'll show you what Alibaba is all about. So now that I'm signed in, I've got my account here. Now you can search for all the products through Alibaba here, that you want. There's so many different products imaginable. So just for reference, we'll do the product that we have here. So let's just say the grill gloves were a good product, and they're not, they weren't so competitive. So we'll go here. Now, average price of these would say is around $20, I'd say. So heat resistant grill gloves. Now what you could do if you wanted to source this product is you go straight into Alibaba here, and you literally type in grill gloves. Now, as you can see here, US, so some of these are going to be a bit higher and a bit lower, than the other, depending on what type of grill glove they're selling. But let's just say this one here, for instance, high heat resistance barbecue grilling glove and cooking glove, $2.50 to $4 a pair. So it depends on what color you want. You can have a look and see what they offer, but you can actually click into the product that they're selling and have a look and see what it's all about. So what other thing you have to look out for? Now, first off, what we'll do first off is we'll do the trade assurance and the transaction value. This is what I look for. So what you want to do up here, the supplier types, click trade assurance up the top there. Now what that means is basically trade assurance is like a transaction sort of method through Alibaba, and if you have any problems with your payment when you buy, just say you buy your first order and you have any problems with it, trade assurance is there. So if the supplier tries to send you over or anything like that, you can get your money back, and it's the same situation with PayPal. So I've personally never had anything go wrong with suppliers when purchasing any products, but it's definitely something that I'd always do, is to check the trade assurance. Other thing as well to do is to check the gold supplier. Now the gold supplier, if you come over here, you'll see up the top here, they'll have, this is how many years they've been a gold supplier. If you want to check out what that is, we'll go through here now. Gold supplier is a premium membership for suppliers on Alibaba. Members are provided with comprehensive ways to promote their products, maximizing product exposure and increasing return on investment. So we don't need to worry about how to become a supplier, because we're not going to be a supplier, we're just going to buy from them. But gold suppliers, if they've got, the more years that they've got a gold supplier, so this has got 10, this has got 2, the more years the better, but as long as they are a gold supplier, they can be trusted. So we have these gloves here. So if you wanted to buy from them, now minimum order quantity is 500 pairs. So that'll be okay, since we're looking about 300 to 500 units for our first order. So you can click into them, see what they're all about, and if you decide to go for this product, you can actually buy from them, and you can actually, what you do first is you'd contact the supplier. So if you want to click contact here, you could say to them, hey, my name is Parrotta, and I am looking to add your grill gloves to my Amazon store. Up there, and say, could you please give me a quote for, then you could say 500 units, shipping costs, and then if you wanted to, because we want to put a logo on, well, I'll get to that in a second. If you want to put a logo on your product as well, you could say logo and UPC code. Now you could put more into this. This is just a simplified version. A UPC code is just a barcode as well. I can do another video on that if you want, because you do need a barcode for your product. You can either get your supplier to do it, or you can either pay a small fee and get Amazon to do it for you. I usually do it from the supplier, so it's all ready to go by the time it gets to Amazon. But you can send that. You can just say thanks, and then you just come down here, send inquiry, and what you want to look for as well, which really helps me, is their response rate and their response time. So less than 24 hours, that's good. 84.4%, that's good. So if they have a high response rate, they're going to get back to you quick, so you can do your business quicker through them. All right, so after you make your Alibaba account, that's pretty much all you need for your accounts so far. Now the next thing, and this is the biggest thing, this is your product research. This is the most important part when it comes to selling on Amazon. If you don't do your product research right, then your product's just going to fail straight away. And if you have a good product there, no matter, it's what I said from the opposite from before. If you have a really good product and you're terrible at advertisement and you're terrible at marketing, your product's most likely going to sell. And even if it doesn't sell well, if it's a really good product, you're even going to break even. You're still going to make profit on that. So first thing here, and this is what I put up the top, you need Jungle Scout for the most effective method to do your product research on. So make sure you have Jungle Scout if you want to get serious about selling on Amazon. Now, from what I've seen and from what I've experienced, these are the parameters that I look for when I go through the product database and I search through Jungle Scout for products. So first thing is to search for small and light products, no more than 2.5 pounds. The reason for that is you don't want to pay too much for shipping. If you pay too much for shipping on your product, it's going to kill your profit margin. And when it comes to, say, 500 units, shipping costs can be very, very high when it comes from getting it shipped from your supplier to Amazon. Now, revenue, we want to look for about 15 to 20,000. This isn't profit, but if you look over here, so I've got around that 15 to 20,000 estimated revenue. You can put which parameters you want. This is outlined in the course that I'm doing. So you just play around with the numbers. This is what I've found so far, which is working well for me. So you put that into parameters. Now the reason you want this is it's more so to the point of you're trying to reach for the stars. You're gonna hit somewhere in between. If you've ever heard that saying. So if you're looking for something with an estimated revenue, if you get something that's over 20,000 in revenue, you're going to be getting, if the profit margin is decent, you're going to be getting around 10,000 or maybe even more in profit. So if you've got that for revenue, your profit's going to be higher as well, depending on your profit margin. The next thing you want to look for is no more than 300 reviews. Now, you can rank your product even if it's 500 or 600 reviews, but I look for, just say for instance, if we come in to these grill gloves here and we go to the Jungle Scout, now it's going to have your reviews. See how it's got high demand here with high competition? The reason for that is not only like the demand comes from how many sales they've got, but the competition comes from the reviews. So if you can see here, the top ones, we won't go to the sponsored ones here because they're paying for advertisement, but top ones here, we've got 600 reviews, 300 reviews, 4,000 reviews, 2,000 reviews, 600. It's going to be too hard for you to come in and swoop in their sales because they're ranked so high already, and because they've got so many reviews, it's going to be hard for your product to rank. Compared to these products, if you don't have any reviews, it's hard to get started. And with grill gloves here, just typing in grill gloves, you've got 72 pages. So you're going to be all the way back at 72 pages when you first launch a product. It's going to be very, very hard, and you're most likely not going to get any sales because it's way too competitive. Because these guys have come in way, way earlier. They've done this ages ago, and they've come in and they've got all the sales already, and they've got the reviews. Now, check opportunity rating. So that's coming back here to our Chrome extension. So opportunity score or opportunity rating, this is one of the most important things that I look for when it comes to doing my product research. So as you can see here, so it goes from 1 to 10. If you've got a 10, that's definitely most of the time that is a go. If you find something anywhere from about 8 to 10, you have to have a serious look at that product because it could be a good opportunity for you to go for. So I was having a look at these the other day. I think I did this in another video. Massage ball. Now, I don't think the opportunity on this one was very good, but we'll have a look anyway. Go to Jungle Scout again. It should be better than 3 for the opportunity. So the sales here look a bit low, but it'll basically get the average of everything on this page, and it'll give you an opportunity score. Wait for it to load. So only one better, high demand with high competition, so it's still highly competitive because it's in the fitness one. But that was just to give you a demonstration of how it finds your products, how it pulls all the data, and then how it gives you an opportunity score, and that'll give you a good indication of whether to go for the product or not. Another thing I look out for when it comes to selling on Amazon, because you have to be careful of what products you are allowed to sell and what you're not allowed to sell, because you have to get ungated, you have to be allowed to sell on certain products, and it just comes to ease of certain products that you can sell. It's easier to sell some products, and it's very, very hard to sell different categories of products. So just to simplify what I just said, it just sounded like mumbo jumbo. What I'd look out for, I wouldn't really get into selling electronics, digestives, creams, things like your health creams, and etc. When it comes to like your health category, sort of things, if things like weight loss pills or even things like animal digestives, anything with health, you have to be very careful of, because it's coming from a foreign country. Not only will you get stuck getting it through customs from if you're coming from China, getting it into the US, not only will you get stuck at customs, it's just a risky situation selling digestives on places like Amazon, because you could get yourself into some hot water. So products that don't really have anything to do with health or have digestives or anything like that in it. Now, the last thing to do is you have to check Google patent. Now, why you have to check Google patent is you have to make sure that the product that you're selling isn't already patented by another company. So if you go into your Google, type in Google patent, you can actually search for different keywords. So just say massage ball. Now, that's most likely not going to have a patent on it, but just say if you're selling something like a fidget spinner, you have to be careful that it doesn't have a patent, because if someone's already patented that item and you go and get the same thing, get the same product from a supplier and you start selling it, you're going to get yourself in some hot water again, and you could have a lawsuit on your hands. That's how bad it gets. So you have to check your Google patent. You have to make sure that your product isn't already patented by someone else. But apart from that, if you've checked all these and you've got a product that checks all these boxes, then you should be pretty much good to go. And you have to use, I still say you have to use Jungle Scout. It is a much needed part of your product research. Now, the next thing to do is what you're going to need for your brand. This is so you can private label your product. So why you need to private label your product is so no one else can steal your product. No one else can rip it off. If you brand your product and you have a logo on it, that means you've private labeled it, and you can actually take other people's products down. You can get in contact with Amazon and have them take it down if they rip off your product, if it's got a logo on it, if it's branded. So the way to do that, now if you're not a graphic designer, I'm not a graphic designer, so I needed someone to make a logo for me. Best place that I found to do that is on Fiverr. So if you come into Fiverr, you're going to need to make another account, which is free. And they've got so many different things on here, and so many people. They're basically freelancers that go out, and they have different specialties that they do. And you can actually search. If you wanted like an intro video for your YouTube done up, there's people that do that. If you want listings done up for your Amazon products, there's people that do that. Just say if you wanted a logo for your brand, you can even type in Amazon brand logo. See what this comes up with. And then you have a look at their ratings as well. So I will create Amazon enhanced brand content from scratch. I will design brand new and killing that we want to have a look at. So we could have a look at something like this. Now, most of the time it's going to be sort of around $50 to get your logo done up. So just say if you like the look of this guy, you can click into him. I'll just kill a logo design. Now $50 for the basic, and it tells you what you get. You get a 3D mockup, logo transparency, one initial concept. Now this is a bit higher than what I've seen, and not a lot of people do $100, $200. So I probably wouldn't spend this much on it. So just so you get an idea, you can have a look through his different designs and whatnot. If you like the way that he designs his stuff, you basically go through and you proceed to order. Afterwards, you can then after you pay it, you can tell him what you want. So you can actually go in and you can say, I want this kind of logo. I want it looking this way, and you can give them a reference on how you want it done up. So after you've got that paid for, they'll usually work within 24 to 48 hours. This says 5 days, so this guy's a bit longer again. Most of the guys that I've been through, they just do, under 24 hours. They do 24 to 48 hours delivery time. And a lot of people have revisions as well, so you can actually, so if you don't like it, they can actually revise it, and you can tell them what to change, and they can make it to how you like it. Now, with the 7th step, sourcing from Alibaba, we've actually already gone through this first step here, the trade assurance and transaction level. The other thing I haven't mentioned yet is you have to price around, so you have to look at different suppliers. So just say if we come back to the grill gloves, it's just pricing around, and when you get a price from your supplier, like after we send the inquiry, if you don't like it, you can negotiate, and that's the best thing to do, is negotiate. So I won't go too much in depth with this, but to say if we found your product, we found your supplier, if you want to get it ordered in, you have to create a shipment plan. And I'm not going to get into this in this video, but shipment plan is just so you're letting Amazon know that, okay, we're getting a shipment in from a supplier, we're going to send it to your Amazon fulfillment center, and they're going to tell you where to send it to. They're going to send you some stickers, also a PDF file of some stickers, and you send that to your supplier so they can pop that on the boxes, and they're going to give you an address so your supplier knows where to send it to. So that's all the shipment plan is. It is outlined in the course that I've linked down below as well, so you can go through there and have a look at that. Still, the course is one of the best ways to go about it. I can't explain it all as well and as in depth as what they can in the course, so definitely check that out as well. After you create your shipment plan, pretty much from there, what I would do is I would look anywhere from 300 to 500 units for your first test order. Now that's going to, if you've done your product research right, you should sell out quite quickly, within the month. You should sell out within a month, I'd say, or if not, just over a month. But 300 to 500 units is definitely the way to go for me for my test order. My first one I did 300 on the low side, but 300 to 500 units, you want to look at about $1,000 to $1,200 all up. Once you do your shipment plan, once you pay for your shipment, they're going to send it to Amazon, and it'll take a few days. Well, it'll take a few days to get into Amazon. When they ship it, just so you know, it could take anywhere from, I think sometimes it could be 10 to 15 days to get it in. Some people do express shipping, which might be a bit more, and that could take a week or just over a week. But once they ship it in, you can send it to Amazon, you can start selling. So last thing, things to consider when it comes to selling on Amazon. Now, what you want is you want $1,000, or now last thing we're going to go over is things to consider when it comes to selling on Amazon. What you want to get started with is about $1,000 to $1,500. You're going to get started with selling on Amazon. 2 to 5 weeks until your product launch. So that's basically finding a product, sourcing it from Alibaba, getting it shipped to Amazon. Usually takes about 2 to 5 weeks until it's up and live on Amazon. Depending on how quickly you work, depending on how quickly you find your product, that's usually what it takes for your average guy to get it in. And last thing, which I'm not going to talk about too much, is your Amazon PPC, which is pay-per-click. Once your product launches, that's just advertising on Amazon, and getting your product ranked and getting your sales rank high, so you can start selling a lot of units. So that's pretty much it for the steps on how to get started selling on Amazon. If you have any questions, just leave them down below in the video, or just get in contact with me. I can leave my Instagram down below if you like as well, and you can get in contact with me through there. But I've just given you just a light overview of what it's all about and how to get started. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to start making more videos about Amazon as well, now that I'm getting more knowledgeable on it. But if you like this video, give it a like, and if you're not subscribed, give my channel a sub as well. and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.